Coming up next on Synergistic TV, see a new way to teach and a new way to learn in changing the way education happens.
I began my career as a teacher, and so I continue to be sensitive to the needs of students and teachers alike. I stopped teaching, but I didn't leave education. We began providing educational products to help teachers help their students in the mid-'80s. It looked as if the future of industrial arts at the middle and high school levels was bleak. The reason for that was because shop hadn't changed in 60 years, but technology had. We decided to find out what technology education really was and what it should be. As a result of our research, we created a system that could be used in any school in the country. What we developed was an entirely new approach to teaching and learning. We call this development the Synergistic System. Since 1988, we have installed our Synergistic Systems labs in over 700 middle schools nationwide. I believe the secret to our success has been that the nucleus of the Synergistic Systems is our curriculum. Education reform has been front-page news for years, and there's no doubt that reform is truly needed in education. The Synergistic Systems has become a major player in changing the way students learn and the way teachers teach. What needed to change was how students were taught, so that their experiences would be relevant to the real world, and they would be integrated with the things they were going to face in the future. Synergistic System is more than computers and VCRs and various types of equipment at the workstation. It is a synergistic blend of computers with telecommunications, video discs, CD-ROM, workbooks, and that powerful curriculum that's been created by our curriculum department. Yes, we really do have a curriculum department, and it is a vital component of the Synergistic System. When we created the Synergistic Labs, we decided they needed to be in a quality room and have a consistent, contemporary look and feel about them, more like a current office center. That's why we manufacture the workstation and many of the other components which are used in the hands-on activities. We also produce the video instructional programs in our own state-of-the-art video production facility. Then, in support of our customers, we encourage and insist that our teachers be educated either here in Kansas or at our facility at Spaceport in Florida. We also have a customer relations department and a computer bulletin board for communication between us and our customers. The more than 700 labs we have installed across the country have been proven in urban, suburban, and rural schools. And what they all have in common is that students have experienced great success in our curriculum. We began Synergistic Systems by working with administrators, business people, teachers, and parents, asking them what they thought was important to education.
On the other hand, we spend $500,000 a year in this district on Xerox machines and ditto paper. So let's put it in perspective.
It's a one-time cost, and the payoff comes every year. There's very little that I can say has a payoff like this. So the cost, which was in the beginning thought to be prohibitive, turned out to be the best investment we ever made. It's just once.
In 1993-94, a group of educational researchers completed a study in which about 200 students were involved in the Synergistic Labs throughout the United States. They had some significant findings on the positive side of the equation as to what students were saying about their experiences in the Synergistic Lab as compared to their experiences in their other classes and classrooms outside the Synergistic Lab. These are just a few of the findings that were significant at the 05 level. One thing they said was that they desired to learn more in the lab than in their other classes. They also said they enjoyed doing the research in the lab more than the other classes. They also indicated they enjoyed working with their classmates better in the Synergistic Lab than in the other classes. They said that their feelings about themselves were improved in the Synergistic Lab. They enjoyed using the computers and understood why they were using them in the Synergistic Lab more so. And they also indicated they enjoyed the use of and learning by the use of videotapes as compared to their other classes and the use of videotapes, for example, in the other classes. So you see that we had some significant findings as well as some other findings that were significant. But I think probably more importantly than those findings might be the fact that what the students are saying is happening to them in the Synergistic Lab is what, in fact, that the teachers and the parents and business people were telling us early on in our research and development of the program, and what they wanted students to experience in school. We've been in the education business since 1971. It wasn't until 1988 that we introduced our synergistic labs. We are serious and sincere about our mission, which is to help young people become engaged in valid learning experiences. As a part of this commitment and to prove it, we have invested substantial dollars in research and development to continually upgrade and improve the products we provide for your students and your school.
Next, hear two instructors from California as they tell their own story on Synergistic Success Stories.
INDIO Middle School in INDIO, California is just one place where the Synergistic System is finding success in the classroom every day. INDIO Middle School is the home of 2 Synergistic labs and 2 great teachers, each with a story about how teaching and the Synergistic System have impacted their classrooms and their lives.
We have 65% Hispanic in this school, 32% Anglo, and 3% other.
They really seem eager to get in and get started. They know how to get started. We've had visitors from the State Department of Education. They've been thrilled to death because they saw the same things that I do.
Wilma was at a point in her life where change was not necessarily a good thing. She had had a lot of things happen to her, and she was at a time where she really could have failed at this or made the system fail and had an excuse for it. And yet she turned it into a real positive. I mean, she made this lab a tremendous success. And I think that's a real credit to the system, to its flexibility, and to our education workshops. She was able to come into that situation and do just an outstanding job with those students, even though in her personal life she had some reasons for it not to work.
Miss Riley, she's fun.
With Wilma, she's a marvelous science and home economics teacher. So she was a lovely first choice for this brand new model that we were trying.
I call myself a late bloomer. I didn't start teaching until I was nearly 50. My husband, we knew my husband was going to die. And so I knew that my husband and my children got together and says, okay, Mom must have her education. So I went back to college, got my education, and managed to have my first teaching job in INDIO before my husband died. And the environment is beautiful. They walk in here and it looks like they're walking into a spaceship. I think this is the future for teaching. I'm more of a teacher because they can have more of my time. They feel secure. They're with another partner and they feel very secure. They seem very content in here, very happy. And again, I go back to discipline. If a student isn't happy, that's when they, if a student is unhappy, if they're bored, that's when they get into trouble. They're not getting into trouble. My life was so much easier. Now I have time to have fun with them all. They like me better.
We began interviewing Karen Zavala on one afternoon when we had really finished everything else that we were going to do that day, and we just sat down with her to ask some questions. We knew that we were probably going to get positive remarks from her because she was having a good deal of success with the system and her students were experiencing success. What we didn't expect was her very personal account of her son Michael, who also happened to be a student in her classroom. Michael was really facing some challenges with his education, and he just had not experienced success in the traditional classroom. And he really has blossomed in the Synergistic lab. She is so excited about the change that he has experienced. She wants other parents and other teachers to know what impact this system can have on students around the country.
Academically, they don't have the preparation just for the reading, and certainly don't have the exposure. You know, they've never had a chance to build anything. They've never had a chance to an electrical circuit. They don't even know what that is. So this is just, it's a wonderful opportunity for the kids. It is, and it's just amazing for them. They love it. But academically, it's very difficult. It's true that the one thing that really sold me, not that I had to be sold, but that really made it personally meaningful for me was to have my own son in the lab. and he's a special ed student, and he's mainstreamed in the regular classroom, but he is labeled non-reader because he reads at first grade level. Math skills the same, a lot of memory problems and processing problems, so school for him is really difficult. He certainly can't function at an 8th grade curriculum level. A lot of the kids come in at lunchtime and they come in after school if they want to. I don't say you have to. If you want to come in and you want to do more, because he's a student that is more time, well, he wants things to be perfect because he's had so much failure in his life that he's very tuned in to doing things exactly right. So he wanted to follow every step. So he would come in during lunchtime or come in after school and work on it. And Michael went over and said, no, you can't even start that yet. See, right here's the picture of the video. You have to do the video first. Again, he hadn't read the curriculum. He couldn't read the curriculum, but he knew what the expectation was. There was directions to read, which he couldn't access, but he knew what to do to get to the next step. So automatically I said, oh, this guy is already learning these things. So I tried him out as lab manager 2 rotations later. He knew where the equipment was. He knew which supplies were needed for which thing. He trained the other lab managers. He was totally unmotivated. He hated school. It wasn't just that he still wanted to be in Maui, but there was nothing meaningful happening for him. All of the curriculum was too hard. Sure, he was getting modifications, but the modifications compared to his level of success, he could see what was going on around him. He knew what he could and couldn't do, and there wasn't any place else in the school. There wasn't any place he could be successful. He just knew. He knew. He didn't have to tell him. He was wasting his time. Why get up in the morning? Then he was up and dressed by 5:30 in the morning. Come on, Mom, let's go to school. For me, it was a whole new kid. I had a whole new kid in the family. He wasn't negative about school anymore. Every extra minute he wanted to be in the lab. For me as a parent, it was fabulous because finally there was a place that he could be successful. For me, the most important is that I see the kids learning. And you can see with all the activities, you can see when they're working on something, whether it's computer problem solving or robotics, what is their level of understanding? Has it sparked an interest? And it doesn't matter what language they speak, so that they'll want to continue to learn more and access more information.
The bottom line of any curriculum or any education system is whether or not students are experiencing success in it. And we had the opportunity while we were in INDIO to meet many of the students who use our labs there and talk to them about the things that they like about it and the reasons that they think they're having so much success with it.
My favorite module is kitchen capers.
I like rocketry and space and electronics.
I like research and design and technology lab.
Yeah, Great Starts.
Why?
Because you got to do like hands-on every day.
Yeah. Cooking.
Yeah. and sewing.
Well, there's things that they learned in this lab that they couldn't have gotten anyplace else. Colleges don't have these facilities.
You are watching Synergistic TV.
This is similar to what hearing-impaired people hear every day. Synergistic Systems is aware of the difficulties that deaf students have and is concerned with providing every student the ability to succeed. Closed captioning is just one step closer to providing that success. Synergistic Systems is working in conjunction with the Kansas School for the Deaf to ensure correct and comprehensive captioning in our products. Closed captioning is more than words on a screen. It's part of our commitment to student success. Synergistic Systems, changing the way education happens.
This is a Synergistic News Update.
Do you ever feel that your child isn't getting the education that you want them to have, even at the elementary or middle school level?
Well, Bill Rafferty is at a school where they may be setting the standard for what your kids will be learning in the very near future. Good morning, Billy.
Good morning, Steve, and good morning, Kay. Welcome to Gotham Middle School. Setting the standard, they are way past the standard. The bar is probably where I am. It's probably here. I have no idea what's going on around me. This is one of the most impressive classrooms I have ever seen. Joining me on my left, we have Rhonda Dean, and the teacher, of course, in the classroom is Dale Tony over here. I want to start with Rhonda, because Rhonda started the program here at Gotha Middle School. Tell me what the program is called and what you tried to achieve.
Well, this is the Synergistic System Lab, and it is really a brand new way for teachers to teach and students to learn in the middle school. What we've done here is we've taken a traditional classroom and really put the responsibility for learning back on the students. They're self-directed through many technologies that they wouldn't get to experience otherwise.
Now, we were kidding around before, and I want to get to Dale in a second here just to see how this thing is working out. But this is, I mean, the most we ever had when we were kids was mechanical drawing. I mean, you got a little T-square and a compass, you drew a circle. This is way beyond that. What are we looking at here?
Well, society has really changed, and these kids need a different preparation for their futures than we did when we were in school. So they're learning about robotics, they're learning about applied physics, they're learning about flight technology, all technologies that they're going to experience daily in their lives.
Let me bring Dale into this. Dale is the teacher here. And it's not a grade, it's a particular class, because you do have students from different grades here, am I right?
Right, I teach 7th and 8th grade.
Now, just to give you an idea of what's going on, because we can't cover it all in a brief time, I'm looking at plaques, graphic communications, desktop publishing, rocket and space technology. They have 2 wind machines here that if you design a wing, you can actually test this to see that it works. And I want to talk to some of the kids on what they're working on right now. How are the children, the young ladies and the young men that we see here, how are they handling this? What is their response?
I think they enjoy it. You know, I'm kind of lucky. I have a class that the kids want to come to. And, you know, in middle school, that's kind of a challenge. But the kids really, I think, enjoy this. They take to the program very well. And they're pretty successful at it. And I think that's the key.
You know, the thing that confuses me, and Dom, I'd like you to back up a little bit because I'm going to go to the kids shortly here. You're not teaching a subject. As I said, you've got desktop publishing there. You've got lasers going on over here. This young lady's working on a robot. How do you teach this?
Well, our concept is technology. I mean, they're exploring technology, and there's so many different types of technology out there that we've kind of just bottled them into this one particular class.
Okay, let's come over here. This young man over here is soldering something. What's your name, sir?
My name's Ian Longway.
Ian?
Ian.
My oldest boy's named Ian. I like that name. Very nicely done. Now, what are you doing, Ian? What's going on here?
We're making a robot blinker. We're soldering on some wires and put a battery on here, and then you click this on, and it's supposed to work.
It's supposed to work? Well, I'm sure it will, Ian, because you're a bright kid, and I'm sure you know what's going on. Is it a blinking light? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is this a fun class for you?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, is this your favorite?
Yeah.
I knew it. How you doing with your braces? You keep them clean?
Yep.
That's it, because I want to check them out. Let's go over here. We got robots over here. I love this. And what's your name?
Marie.
Vicky? And Vicky, let's see what you're doing here. Let's get back up a bit, because you've got a robot that's going to drop that basketball in the hoop. Can we handle that? Let's see it. Just like Michael Jordan, isn't it? Can you drop it? And come on, robot. Okay. You going to try again? Let's see if we can get it. There it is. And yes, we got 3. The big 3. Thank you very much. And now these guys are doing, what are you doing here? In your name, please. Turn around so everybody can see you.
We're making bridges, and the object for this is to make a bridge that can last. And there's like a card supposed to go in the middle, and you put it on a machine, and it like presses down, and you see how much pounds that can fit on your bridge without it collapsing.
Now, how do you make that test again? Tell me that again. How would you know? Because it's all balsa wood to me. I mean, I'm not sure.
There's something that goes in the middle, and it presses down on it. You twist like an anchor thing, and it pushes down pressure. And if it lasts like over a certain amount of pressure, then it's a good bridge.
Let me ask Dale. I want to bring you back in here because I want to go over here because they've got computer designs over here. But I have an interesting question. Come on in here, Rhonda, because both of you can help me with this. Equal distribution, girls and boys. A lot of this heavy-duty sciences and math, I would assume. You got to have some kind of knowledge of that stuff, and we hear that young ladies don't do that well in that. I would imagine I'm telling a fib.
Well, I think they've never had the opportunity to do well. In this class, we're giving them that opportunity. We treat them like everyone else, and they get to learn right alongside everyone else.
Dale, do you find that the young ladies just keep right up, they get into it?
Well, at this age, the girls actually follow directions better than the boys, so they're actually a little more successful than the boys are. Because the boys don't want to follow directions.
I have three sons, and they never listen to me about anything, anytime, any place over here. Let's go over here. This is really fabulous. We're looking at a little desktop publishing over here. Turn around, ladies, so we can see you. Your moms want to see you. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily?
Nina.
And what are you guys doing on this?
Well, we make a desktop calendar for your desk or something, and then it's like got decorations and stuff on it.
And do you get a plate to work from, or is this completely your design?
It's my design. It's your own design.
Wow. So, I mean, this is unbelievable stuff. I mean, they're really at their own devices. They just kind of work hands-on. Right over here, we've got some lasers that they're working on over there. This stuff is so far out for me because I never did well in school. It's obvious. That's why I'm in television. And but look at this. What are you guys up to here? Now, you guys are working with lasers?
Yeah.
What are you going to do, real quick?
Right now, we're transferring a laser beam, and it's transferring sound waves through it.
Very nice. Transferring sound waves with laser beams. They're also talking about having laser beams carry information. This is cutting-edge stuff. I'm going to leave the Gotham Middle School, send it back to you guys in the studio, and I've got some homework I have to do.
You certainly do.
Design some stuff.
Hey, Billy, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
They're in the school of the future. What kind of computers do they use? Are they IBMs or are they Macintoshes?
A lot of Macs. Most of your, Dale, let me ask you, most of your computers are Macs, I'm assuming?
We have 4 PC-based computers, but you can order it either way.
Mm-hmm.
So they're working off both databases. Mm-hmm. So it's really impressive stuff.
It looks like a lot of fun. Makes school really fun. All right, thanks a lot, Billy.
See you guys.
All right, see you later.
Students don't often see the relevance of what they're taught in school and how it affects the rest of their lives. But as First Business correspondent Melissa Gardner tells us, in Sheldon, Iowa, students are learning skills they know could be useful because future employers are getting involved in the curriculum.
Traditional industrial arts and home economic classes have been transformed into non-traditional hands-on learning labs. Kids learn how to cook hot dogs with solar heat and calculate the velocity of a track car riding on a cushion of air. A company called Synergistic Systems consulted with educators and local small businesses before designing the curriculum.
We find that the equipment we have and the culture we have in our businesses today require students who have different skills than when I used to teach many years ago. Unfortunately, I think many of our teachers have not had an opportunity to change their teaching style, and that's important if those students that are going through schools today are going to be successful in our businesses.
One local manufacturing company helped fund a workstation where students learn to computer operate a robotic welding arm, similar to the one it uses in its own shop.
Educators and school boards are on a limited budget, and at times they need to have financial support from business to do things like we're seeing here in Sheldon today.
Educators are thrilled about the input from businesses.
The people that they're hiring have to have certain skills, and schools need to know those skills. And then schools, in return, need to develop programs that will teach those skills.
The students, well, they seem just as excited, not only to be learning skills they know could be useful in their futures, but to be learning them in an unusually fun and interesting way. Melissa Gardner, First Business.
Learn how the Synergistic System works with The Revolution Starts Here, only on Synergistic TV.
We're like the shot heard around the world, but nobody knows where it came from. We have over 20 years of experience in catalog sales to education, but doing it right sometimes means doing it differently. It isn't just the system that's revolutionary. The way we sell it is revolutionary. We're dedicated to teachers, students, and school districts. That's a commitment that typical salespeople can't even handle. We see sales as consulting. We will provide everything your students need to experience success every single day. The revolution begins with your first synergistic contact.
At Synergistic Systems, we feel the product should speak for itself, and the salesperson should be there to help with implementation and service. I'm happy to introduce to you a few people who represent our company.
You're making a tremendous investment in your students, and we respect that. That's why we come and meet you, we listen to you, and we internalize your needs before we do anything.
When we sit down to discuss your curriculum needs, we continue to listen and advise you on the ways our modules apply to those needs. Our curriculum guide allows you to quickly reference module learner outcomes as well as key activities in which those outcomes are demonstrated.
After the preparation of your proposal, we assist you in presenting it to decision makers and key team members in your district. And because our goal is student success, our involvement never ends. Our desire is a relationship with you, your teachers, and your students.
From the friendly people who verify your order,
to those who schedule your installation,
our team of professionals prepare your order in one place in one of our warehouses. We call this the staging process.
As the truck is loaded with your order, our service continues in other ways. An installation team leaves to meet your shipment and install it upon arrival. Your personal sales consultant meets its arrival as well. We complete an exhaustive verification process to ensure that your specifications are met completely, because your success requires that. Meanwhile, other members of our team become involved. We start by providing excellent instructor education. This includes 3 days of intense yet rewarding experiences in a synergistic environment. During this time, not only will teachers become well-versed in the workings of the synergistic system, they also gain confidence as they experience the curriculum. Our commitment and service will not end when your teachers return to your district. We'll keep them informed of lab installations, new curricula, new solutions, and important issues through our network newsletters. And when you need anything, from a replacement videotape to the answer to a research question, our customer relations team will be one free phone call away.
This is a Synergistic TV special report.
Synergistic Systems has just announced an additional workshop location is available for new instructors. These workshops will be held at Spaceport and Kennedy Space Center. Synergistic instructor workshops are designed to help teachers successfully manage their new Synergistic lab. Participants will gain first-hand experience through individual modules at the workshop. Synergistic Systems is offering a special price that includes a round-trip airline ticket to Orlando, Florida, 4 nights at the Radisson Resort, a Hertz rental car, admission to a giant screen IMAX theater at Spaceport, and a NASA Kennedy Space Center tour. If you'd like more information, please call 1-800-828-5787.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Today in the public schools, Katie Dorme wrote her last name without any help. Jessica Enya spun through the air with the greatest of ease. And Tammy Leathers learned how to make water pure. Today in the public schools, Andrew Lopez discovered how to make an airplane soar with the wind. And Leor Hackle played Mozart for the first time. For every child with dreams, for all parents with a dream for their children, the public schools are where small miracles happen every day.